Hi guys, welcome back. So it's been a while, mainly because I've been waiting a whole month to get all my books in one massive pull list. Because I'm trying to cut down the list, and to do that I need to know what I'm actually buying each month. And when you do it weekly or every other 2 weeks, it's very easy to slip extra books in there or forget a book. So this time I've done the whole month's worth, which is that's 1 month worth of new books. It's a lot, isn't it? Yes, I know. So you can see why I'm going to try and cut down. It's just getting ridiculous. I think there's plus 40 books there, which are ongoing titles. It's too many. Too many. But time is short, and I've got a lot of books. So let's get on with it. First up, issue 15 of Hulk, the end of the storyline of Hulk in time. You should have stayed back in time. It's rubbish. What a rubbish way to end a mediocre storyline. I actually got quite, I wouldn't say excited, but things started looking up when we saw the extra gamma radiated Hulk. Apart from one moment there where he has a go at General Ross, it just lets him know what he thinks of him because he can lose his temper. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it at all, to be honest. It felt like it was wrapped up so we could get on with this issue 16, Inhumanity tie-in. So you can sort of see where the second wave of Marvel now is going with the Inhumans and stuff, and fair enough, it's great to influx new characters, new books. This was crap. Quite frankly, it's crap, and this will be my last Hulk book. It's a shame, because I love Hulk, but this Hulk doesn't do it for me. I sometimes enjoy the Bruce Banner side of it, but apart from that, it's just a bit wishy-washy and nothing really happens, and that's a bit of a shame, really. Because they got, I think Hulk did more in his, cameos in the Infinity storyline when he was in the main book, just by sitting when he was in, for example, Wolverine and X-Men. I enjoyed Hulk when there's one scene where he sat on a shuttle with Kid Gladiator, and Kid Gladiator is just staring at him saying, "I punched the Hulk once," and the Hulk's like, "Stop looking at me." That I enjoyed more than the Hulk storyline, and unfortunately for me, I won't be getting Hulk anymore. Sorry to ramble on about it, but I feel I need to justify why I'm not getting Hulk. FYI, the last good Hulk issue was, I think, issue 10 or 11 with Daredevil and Baron Zemo. After that, it was very bad. So, we've got Avengers Arena 17 and Avengers Arena 18. This concludes the first year of Avengers Arena. Which, damn, I didn't enjoy the ending, to be honest. They wrapped it up in a bit of a wishy-washy way where they agreed not to talk about it because it was for the better of everyone. I understand that you're always going to have issues ending a series like that. It's never going to end nicely. For me, the way I wanted it to end was a bit more morbid. I wanted them all to die. For me, that would have been a more satisfying end, if that sounds right. But I would prefer that they all died. And that would, to me, would have been a better ending. But as it stands, you got about half a dozen of them which survived. Which, they're now going to be going to their own book. I can't even remember what's going to. They've got a new book advertised in the back of that, where basically the survivors of Avengers Arena go undercover to catch villains, supervillains, and they become basically supervillains psychics in order to bring them down. I'm not going to get it. I can't remember what it's called. Superior Spider-Man issues 21. A good issue. It's nice, This is his old girlfriend. I think she's called Stunner. And basically, she wants to kill Spider-Man because she thinks Spider-Man killed her boyfriend, Dr. Octopus. In a nutshell, simple as that. So she goes causing trouble to get Spider-Man to sort her out, and in doing so, Spider-Man, he stops her because that's what Spider-Man has to do. But he lets her know as well, very kindly. Because she this is horror, like a hard luck projection. The real stunner is actually a larger lady who's locked in her own room, in a vegetative state. And once he stops her, he takes the hardware back, and he projects himself as Dr. Octopus and goes and sees Stunner, and just says how much he still cares for her, and that Spider-Man's not the enemy, and he wishes her well, which is quite nice. It shows that he does have some emotions there. He also goes and sees his school teacher and basically advises him that to retract his statement about Peter Parker nicking all his ideas. So it was a good issue, a very good issue. Okay, next up, Superior Spider-Man Annual 1. This was fucked up. This was good. This is really, really good. So we got this dude in here. I can't remember what he's called. I want to say Nightshade or Midnight or something like that. He basically looks like Morbius on drugs. This guy kidnaps Aunt May. Yeah, he kidnaps Aunt May and says to Peter Parker, "Look, Peter Parker, I know you work for Spider-Man, and I know you make all his tricks and gizmos. I want you to basically sabotage his tricks and gizmos so I can then destroy Spider-Man." Not knowing that, obviously Spider-Man and Peter Parker are the same. And so Peter Parker, he's going mental. Well, Dr. Octopus, he's going mental. He's like astounded someone to do this to him, and angered. And basically he catches up this guy, and he goes to fucking town on him. And we're talking like to town. He pulls his teeth out, pulls his fingernails out, and he sends a real message to the underworld saying, "Look, you don't fuck with Peter Parker, his friends, family, anyone. If you do, you're dead." And yeah, he does. Peter Parker gets pickpocketed at the end of the issue, and this guy realizes he pickpocketed Peter Parker, and he runs back just profusely saying, "Sorry, sorry, sorry, sorry. Don't tell Spider-Man," And Peter Parker just has a little smile to himself, says, "Yeah, that worked." But unknown to Peter Parker, Aunt May saw Spider-Man inflicting all this damage onto this guy. So she was shocked. She was that shocked she actually fucking ran, and she can't fucking walk. So quite impressive. Superior Spider-Man issue 22. The beginning of the Venom storyline. So it's cool. We've been waiting for this for a while now, and Spider-Man comes across Venom. Doesn't realise Venom's good. Starts beating the shit out of him. He actually has these new web shooters that project fire and ultrasonics, so they really damage Venom. And Flash is like, "Whoa, Spider-Man, I'm your friend." And Peter looks and goes, "I don't know who you are." And he's just going to about to drop a car on his head, I think. And it basically leads into Spider-Man damaging Venom so much that he actually leaves Flash Thompson's body. So we could be seeing old school Venom, which would be awesome. So yeah, it was a good first issue part of the storyline, worth picking up. And Superior Spider-Man, never going to drop this book. It's awesome. Thor: God of Thunder issue 15. For me, probably the weakest issue of all the Thor issues. Actually, no, the second weakest issue. Basically, this is a bit of team bonding. His team are not getting along with each other, so he basically takes them to the pub, gets them all pissed, has sex with the Dark Elf Queen, whatever her name was, I don't know, the witch, drinks a giant under the table. This is all pretty good. And then they go and try and find Malekith at the end, and Malekith, he's an evil son of a bitch. He kills the giant, just straight up kills him. Let me see some frost giants at the end. Overall, it was average with some light-hearted moments. It was okay. New Avengers, issue 12. Well, this book made me a fan of New Avengers, I can tell you that much. Forget the whole Infinity storyline. Best part about this book was Prince Namor and Black Panther. And they put a real new twist for Black Panther for me, and I saw he was a bit more darker and a bit more prepared to do the darker thing for the greater good, and I like that. I like that a lot. The artwork in this book is amazing. I love the art in this book. I'm going to pick up the next issue. Really, I really enjoyed it that much. Issue 23 of Avengers. It was okay. It wasn't a bad book. To be honest, you didn't need it to finish the Infinity storyline. There was a couple of bits in there, but generally speaking, it was a bit of a fluff piece. It was basically the Avengers saying, "Okay, we've had our space battle now. We must go back to Earth and sort out Thanos," and that's what they do. So I'm just getting my books out because there's a stack there. Right. Uncanny Avengers, issue 14. This is a really good book. It basically, if you look at on here, you see all the different characters. It focuses on Morph, and Morph feels though he's a bit useless. He doesn't feel he's an asset to the team, and Cyclops is trying to build him up into a warrior, and he's like, "I'm no warrior. I can't even do anything productive for the team." So Emma Frost is like, "No, you can," and she basically takes Morph on a discovery how to use his powers, and we find out that Morph is quite the persuasive chap. Very good issue. Really enjoyed it, and it was nice to see a slightly more light-hearted take on the Uncanny X-Men. Amazing X-Men issue 1. This is cool. We're going to see Nightcrawler back in the X-Men universe, which I'm all for. I'm great. I love to see him come back. How we're going to get there? Well, in a nutshell, there's a portal to another world that the Bamps have been making in the Jean Grey School. That's all you need to know, really. It's a great swashbuckling adventure. Really good stuff. And, daddy issues as well. Pick it up. Wolverine and the X-Men, issue 38. Just basically deals with the aftermath of Infinity. A nice, fun issue. Again, light-hearted. Very light-hearted. And I think that's exactly what this book needed. It was just, it was a nice little pause and a take a breath. And it's like, okay, now we can move on. So it's great issue. X-Men, issue 7. Lady Deathstrike on the front cover. What can I say about this book? I was very confused for the first quarter of this book. Really because I didn't really know the origins of Lady Deathstrike and the body she's now inhabiting. And that's all confused me a bit. But once I got over that, it's quite cool. Basically she wants to take some technology off the X-Men. And she's trying to break into the X-Men to get it. And yeah, it's a nice fun story. We're still seeing some leadership issues going on there, but otherwise, very cool. And great art again. Not Uncanny X-Men, is it? It's All New X-Men, issue 18. So we see Kitty Pryde has now gone over to the Uncanny X-Men Legions after she feels that maybe Storm and Wolverine weren't doing the right thing by the kids. And I think this is better. This is a good move for her. I don't like the way she's very pally with Cyclops straight away, which I don't like. But there's a nice moment with Magic as well, which is quite tender and funny at the same time. So I really enjoyed that. We then have issue 19 of All New X-Men, and again this is good. I feel the All New X-Men are really benefiting from being with the Uncanny X-Men, Cyclops' crew, should we say. It's given them a bit more of a sense of identity. You know, I kind of feel like when they were with Wolverine, they were just sort of stood around and not doing a lot because Wolverine was like, no, you can't do that, you're just kids. Whereas Cyclops is like, no, you're going to be the X-Men. Come on board, we're going to train you, we're going to teach you to be badasses, and we're going to give you some new Flash costumes, which I'm not really sure if I like or not. Very good. And we get to see the storyline of Beast and Cyclops and Jean Grey, the love triangle, a bit more, which is cool. It's a very nice book. We have X-Men Gold, as I like to call it, the toilet collection. And that's not because it's crap, it's because it's perfect to read while you have a crap. Pick it up, very cool. And it features some older characters. Okay, we have Savage Wolverine issue 11. What can I say about this book other than thank fuck this storyline's finished. I still don't know what the storyline was about, and I don't care to know either. I really don't care. It's just rubbish. Rubbish. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Rubbish. Skip it. Skip it. Savage Wolverine, issue 12. Thank God. We're back to the Wolverine I like. Wolverine's in Africa. He's having a bit of fun time with elephants and whatnot. He comes across some poachers. Well, he thinks they're poachers, but actually they're not poachers, they're gamekeepers. And they're trying to track down real poachers. They've been chopping rhinos' heads off and taking their horns and stuff. Basically, in a nutshell, it takes him back to Madripoor. You know it's going to kick off there. Loving this storyline so far. It's only been part 1, but straight away, this part 1 was better than those last 4 issues of that last storyline. Without a doubt, they were better. Okay, so we have Wolverine X-Men issue 1, annual 1 of Wolverine X-Men. This was cool. And this is basically all about Kid Gladiator. Where is he? He's on the front cover. It's all about Kid Gladiator and his relationship with his dad, and how he misses being with the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, and he doesn't really like it being back home because it's boring, you know. And sometimes it's better to be a big fish in a little pond than a what's the word? A big fish in a little pond than a little fish in a big pond. I can't remember the words, but anyway. He wants to go back to the Jean Grey School, which he does, but only after showing his dad how much of a badass he is. Great issue. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Small fish, big pond. Who knows? If you know, put it down at the bottom, will you? Okay, on to Cataclysm. Basically, Cataclysm, the end of the Ultimate Universe, possibly, maybe. Apart from Spider-Man. This is Last Stand, basically. Self-explanatory. This is the Ultimates versus Galactus. Galactus wins. But don't worry. Can't win in the first issue, can he? We've still got another 2 or 3 issues yet. It was good. It's worth picking up. Cataclysm, the Ultimates comics. Ultimates. Too many Ultimates there. Basically, this is what the Ultimates are dealing with. The Ultimates are dealing with AIM at the moment, and they basically turned into a culthood, and they've all been infected by the Hive, and they are fucking up everything. Quite frankly, fucking up everything. Really good issue. Really enjoyed it. Cataclysm Ultimate Comics X-Men issue 1. Wow, this. I haven't read the Ultimate X-Men stuff yet, so I was kind of a bit left out what happened in the sort of the War of the X-Men or whatever, so I need to catch up on that. And so I was a bit confused from the start, and I was a bit confused at the end because Pixie transformed them. Pixie teleported them to like some interdimensional place where the Hive was at, and they had to fight on some floating rock, and it was all a bit abstract and a bit weird, and I'm not sure if I liked it or not. And then we had Cataclysm Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. It's alright. It basically shows Miles saying to himself, Why wasn't I Spider-Man for the last year? I know I should have been Spider-Man, and I should be helping people. And there's a really good bit when he's in school and he falls asleep, and the teacher's like, "I'm going to teach him. I'll show him." And he basically asks him a question because he knows he's been asleep, and Miles answers it. And the teacher's like, "Oh, balls." But no, it was a good book, and it's worth reading. And you know, if only to see Cloak and Dagger are going to get their new comic book at some point down there. Cloak and Dagger down there. It was cool. It was cool. So that was it. That was my Marvel stuff. So I've still got my DC and Independence to come. But I'll be doing it on another video. Because this one's already, what we're at now, 20 minutes already for this one video. And that was me being fast. That's why I'm stumbling in my words. Trying to get it out there quick. But yeah, 20 minutes is far too long. As it is. So if you have stayed to the end with me, I thank you. So, if you watch this one, go and check out part 2. Thank you.